Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this evening's edition of the On Air Daily News Hour. Well, this is a time where we give you some great news, some of the things happening in the world that you need to know about that can make your life better. Events that are happening that are bringing to light the positive things people are doing, and an opportunity that we can have to honor those who are making a difference in the world. We cover those events every day in the on-air daily news, and every Wednesday evening, we share with you those stories that can make you smile. You've got enough news to make you sad, so we share news that'll make you smile. And today, we want to bring you news from around the globe and an event that's bringing us closer to our brothers and sisters from across the water. But of course, it is an event that is honoring those from around the globe. And we want you to be a part of this celebration, especially if you are in and around the Chicagoland area. But even if you're not, you will get an opportunity to see the Yoruba Cultural Exchange Festival and Tourism Gala and Awards. And this event, it's an annual event that is coming up, produced by First Eye Incorporated. And we have with us this evening the gentleman who is responsible for this fabulous event. Every year, First Eye Inc. honors those who have made a difference with the work that they are doing. They've made life better, they've excelled in their field, and they've made us all proud. So we want to give back to those who have given by showing our appreciation, especially because this event is coming up right here in Chicago, a 2-day event, Friday, September 11th, and that's Friday, September 11th, and Saturday, September 12th. And you will get a chance to meet some people that you need to know, some special performances, and as we share culture, we're also going to share information about those who are being honored and recognized for the work they're doing. So without further ado, let me bring on our special guest tonight, Ambassador himself, Brother Wale Duro-Ladipo, head of First Eye Incorporated and mastermind behind this annual event, the Yoruba Cultural Exchange Festival. Thank you so much for joining us today on the On Air Daily News Hour.
Thank you, the host. Yes, hello, our viewers all over the world. My name is Wale Duro-Ladipo. I'm a cultural ambassador, and I'm happy to be with you here this evening to have a chat and talk about culture, arts, and tourism.
Well, this is a significant event because there's so much lack of understanding and appreciation, especially of those who have graced our shores here and bringing with them all the brilliance from many countries. And of course, Nigeria being one that you are from. And so there's a very large Nigerian population here in Chicago, a great community. And some of us may be familiar with some of the restaurants, the food, and the clothing, and all of that, but there's so much more. People who are professionals, people who have brought their skills, people who have brought their organizational skills and have founded communities with events that are planned, that are affecting the lives of children. And we want to make sure that we are aware whenever someone is being recognized so that we can share that information and invite people to come on out and attend these events. So tell us about, first of all, this is the I believe the 18th annual,
16,
16th
the
annual,
16th annual.
16th annual Yoruba Cultural Exchange Festival. Tell us a bit about what prompted you to start this event and how you went about organizing with all of the people that are involved, the performers, the professionals that are honored. What prompted you to launch this event?
Oh, yes, thank you. Firstly, I was born into the family of the arts. My late father happens to be a theater practitioner from West Africa, Nigeria. He died 47 years ago. And before his demise, he traveled wide and far across the countries, across the world, United States, Europe, Asia. And he was the first generation of theater practitioner that came from Africa, West Africa. So when he died in 1978, I was little that time. I was about 9 years old. So since then, I've had it in mind that the legacy of what he has done will be continued. And when I left the university, I started bringing a lot of people together to see how we can preserve our cultural heritage and pass that lineage to our upcoming generation. And that was when we started this festival in Dallas, Texas in 2019. And since then, it has been waxing stronger before we brought it down to Chicago, Illinois in 2017. So it's been a very great one. And what do we do? We bring people together from different walks of life to celebrate the valued Yoruba cultural heritage. And the theme that surrounds this legacy is promoting global peace through cultural exchange. All over the world now, the world still need more of love, more of togetherness. So our festival centers on bringing people together from different cultural background uh, to talk about how we can coexist with ourselves and how we can impact our young ones to know that we are brothers keeper. And that's what we'll be doing because our program consists of different sessions. We have the educational sections that we normally have on Friday, whereby we have topics to talk about. We're there with different topics. We're there with the power of women in our society, how relevant are women in their society, and we talk about the power of a heart. This year, we'll be talking about the heart of the heart, the heartbeat of the heart, and we will be recognizing people in the hearts as percussionists, the drummers. So we will be recognizing them on Saturday, which is always our gala and award. Then we have some of our elders in around that they are retiring also. So this festival centers more on appreciation, giving appreciation to people that a lot of people don't even talk about, and they are impacting the society. So that's what the festival is all about. And there's been a lot of people that comes even far from Brazil, from Africa, from Asian, from different part of Africa too. So that's what prompted the whole festival.
Yes, well, that's quite impressive. It's always good when we can reach out to the global community because between airline flight, which can take you anywhere in the world in a matter of hours, and the internet, which can take you all around the world in a matter of seconds, we really are one world community and we need to reach out to each other. I love the idea of spreading world peace through culture and cultural exchange, which helps people to better respect the various cultures around the world. Culture develops because of a history and of experiences, things that people have struggled together to develop together. And so culture is a reflection of the experiences that people have had in a particular place. And everyone needs to share their history, their culture, the things that they have produced and developed and invented that have made the world better. So I'm grateful that you are recognizing some wonderful people among us. Now, of course, Friday, September 11th, at 3 o'clock p.m. in the Africa International House, which is a cornerstone of the African diaspora and, and definitely a gathering place for the community in Chicago. This event is kicking things off Friday, September 11th at the African International House. And then Saturday, September 12th, this is another grand gathering on the campus of Chicago State University. And for those who don't know, of course, Chicago State University is right at 95th and King Drive. And the special guests and honorees include one of our favorite congressmen. I have to say one because mine has to be my own congressman, but one of my favorite congressmen, definitely Congressman Danny K. Davis, and alongside other celebrated honorees and guests from all areas and walks of life, from public service to academia to business and the arts. So outstanding people from all walks of life will be there. And this is a festival, which means there's going to be music, dance, celebration, food, definitely food. And people will enjoy an interaction that is surrounding the celebration of life, which always brings peace and it always brings a better appreciation of others, their triumphs over adversity, and the example that they set for our youth. Because anytime young people can attend something that broadens their perspective of the world, it makes them better people. So we definitely appreciate the work that you are doing and the work that you have done and the work you will continue to do in this process. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at some of the past honorees and those who have graced your stage in being a part of the Gala and Awards, and also what goes into the planning of an event like this, which is global in scope. You've got people that come in from around the world to accept this award and participate. A lot of planning goes into this kind of event, especially
Yes.
because you're dealing with people with different time zones and all of that. So it's a lot. Takes a lot of skills. So we'll come back and talk more about what you have pulled together and some of the challenges in reaching out and even selecting those that you want to be a part of this celebration. So we'll be right back after this next break. We're going to greet our global audience joining us from all around the world. We just want to greet you with a hi, hello, how are you? We appreciate you so much, and we'll be right back. So stay with us.
We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom.
In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network called 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you. Yes, we do want to talk to you, and we want you to talk to us too. And right now, we are talking to Ambassador Wale Akane Duro-Ladipo, the cultural ambassador for this exciting event. And this is the 16th annual celebration, which we are so pleased to have been a part of the history of this celebration. And this is a picture from the on-air daily news where we are running the story about the First Eye concept event. And this is the event from Saturday, September 2024.
Yes.
Global women of substance that were recognized for their impact on the world community. And I'm so grateful to have had an opportunity to be selected as one of the global women of substance. I appreciate that so very much for that honor. And there were a number of illustrious women that were a part of that celebration. And there were a number of people who came in from overseas to accept their award. And look at these beautiful faces. And of course, there were men who were awarded for their wonderful leadership and their outstanding work in making life better for so many whose lives that they've touched. And again, in many different areas, education, health, and business, all areas, leadership, all areas of life that people have made a difference. So tell us what goes into that decision to honor someone with an achievement award as you look across the world and you have selected people. Is there a nomination process? Do you have people who you trust to nominate you for various things? Of course, I was nominated by my good friend, Chief Tamba Taylor, the Alexander. And he's aware of my work in the media and so forth, and literature and all of that. But how do you go about getting nominees for these awards?
Oh, yes, thank you. As I've said, that these nominations and recognition is based on merit and basically on merit because there are a lot of people all around our community that they are doing a lot and people don't even know. They don't put themselves on media like that for people to see. So with our committee, we have a committee set aside that their main job is to do some screening and to look deep into those personalities and pick out some names that will invariably be shortlisted. And we look at their bio and we know that, yes, these people really deserve that recognition. So most times we look around the community and especially something that has got to do with the profession, mostly people in the area of arts, in the area of humanity, in the area of hospitality, and some people in educational sectors too. So we look inward to, get all these nomination. Like in 2024 now, we had a lot of people, in different walks of life. We have people that came from Brazil. Three women from Brazil came, to receive the award. And here we have some other women, some from Kenya, Zambia, even here in America, some from Nigeria. So we have a couple of them like that. So it's basically on merit. So that's how we nominate and pick people. And this year also, as I've said, is going to deal more with the music world, the arts. Behind a very beautiful voice, there are some percussionists that drums, you know. So we have selected some people from there that are powerful drummers. Even we have some of them that are veterans that who have been drumming for the past 60 years that will be recognized this year. So that's how we pick.
Ah, well, that is a wonderful way to select, to have those who are familiar with the works of people, and to also give people an opportunity to express themselves. And later on, I'll share with you all my acceptance speech. But I think everybody who came and were represented with whatever area they were in, they have that vision of contributing to world peace with whatever profession they're involved in. So that's one thing that we all share, is that desire to change the world for the better, and to reach out to our global family by sharing our culture, our ideas, our activities, and it's called an exchange, which means we're exchanging ideas, we're exchanging ways that we can do things that may help the next person who's not aware. So now you have an event where you're going to be having conversations. What are some of the topics that will be talked about during that portion of the program?
Yes, on Friday, which is going to be the 11th of September, we're going to be having an educational session at the African International House on Drezo. And we're going to be having a speaker that is going to talk about the origin of hip hop and African traditional music. This one is one of those topics that our pupils have in their curriculum in the school, that how did this really started? What are the elements of African music in hip hops? And what are the relevancies of this music itself? You know, when we talk about the genres of music, we talk about the beauty of music. We talk about the messages that music can actually transfer from people to the other. And the healing power, which is the therapeutic, the healing power of music. So those are the topics we're going to talk about on Friday, 11th. Then we're having some veteran drummers that will come from Europe that will come and do a drum workshop on African talking drum. So we'll be bringing some African talking drum that, I mean, we're encouraging people to come. If you have never seen African talking drum before, we have access to it. You will look at it. And there'll be a workshop whereby you'll be able to learn on how really do a drum talks. When we say talking drum, then you're going to really experience it, how it talks. So those are the things we're going to have on Friday. Then there's what we call a drum exchange. Drum exchange means some Western instrument and African instrument, they're going to be playing together simultaneously. You know, and we have some artists, some DJs that will perform on that day. Then on Saturday, we have a live band that will be on stand that's going to play. The people will experience different African cuisine food, you know, that day. And we're going to network through the fashion, that we're going to see African attires. Then I myself, I'm a master drummer, and I'm going to have one or two, three presentations on that Saturday, which is a great avenue for networking for people too. That's it.
Ah, well, that's going to be quite exciting for people to experience. You know, I first heard about the talking drums of Africa from one of the very popular journalists and radio personalities. His name was Lou Palmer. And you know, if you're if you're a Chicagoan, you know who I'm talking about. If you're of a certain age, he was a very powerful voice on WVON radio, and a very popular, very powerful radio station. And he had this introduction. He would say, just as the talking drums of Africa brought messages to the African people, and then you had the drum beats in the background, and then he would, and then the commercial would say, just just so does Lou Palmer bring messages to today's African community, and then you'd hear the sound of a typewriter, you know, kind of blended from the sound of the drums beating to the typewriter typing. And you know, of course, I know you young people, y'all don't even know what a typewriter is. That it used to be a machine where you had to hit the keys and they made a sound. You don't hear that anymore, but that's for older people know what a typewriter is. I have to keep remembering
Yeah.
evolved. But that was the commercial, and that's what introduced me to the African talking drum. And then later on, when I went to the University of Nebraska and met there was a very large African population at the University of Nebraska because of their engineering and their agricultural programs. So they attract a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians and so forth. And they were explaining to me how the drum actually does imitate the sound of speech, you know, depending on the way you hit it and that sort of thing, and the way you manipulate it. So I find that very fascinating. And
Yeah.
definitely drums have played a major part in our history here in this country, because when we could not speak to each other and we had to send signals to each other, we used the drum. So there's another whole history to that. But we're gonna take another break, and when we come back, I want to take a look at some of the ways that we're able to address the different historical experiences that we have had. There are Africans who have recently immigrated and are having the American experience. And then there are Africans who have been here for a number of generations. And I'm part of an organization called the Indigenous Brothers and Sisters Building Communities. And it kind of alludes to the fact that there are those who have been here long enough to consider themselves indigenous, and yet the experiences are different depending on when you got here and how those who have perhaps just been here for a generation or two are able to keep from losing the cultural ties with that next generation, because that's a big challenge for a lot of immigrants, to not have their children get so swallowed up in American culture that they forget the values that are the old values that their families came here with. So we'll talk about how families are handling that with second and third generation American born families and the recent immigrants. What are some of the cultural values that you want to make sure that your children don't lose? So we'll be right back to talk about this. And if you are watching online and want to join this conversation, feel free to write in your comments. And if you'd like to call our live line, you can call in 727-731-5192. We'll put that number on the screen for those who want to join us by phone. And we'll be right back after this next break. So stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back in a moment. So stay with us.
In which we're doing this documentary for Douglas Robinson, Your Death Will Not Be in Vain.
He was a heck of a great dude.
And I love Doug. Doug loved me.
Just being around him, he had a good spirit. He was a healing person.
They are there.
Get SROs back.
When you give to the poor,
should not be forced out of their neighborhoods when it goes through a period of transformation.
Because there are too many people who are losing their homes to taxes because they can't pay a $1,000 tax bill.
Have you seen all the solar farms popping up everywhere? You know, the big fields with the solar panels. There's one in our community. They produce electricity using the clean energy of the sun to send to the power grid to reduce our energy costs. Because not everybody can get solar panels put on their roof the way I have, but everybody can enroll for free to share the energy produced by the solar farms. That's why they were built. You know you're supposed to be getting a 10 to 20% savings on your bill for that, right? Illinois has a goal to transition by 2050 to 100% clean energy. So everybody needs to be connected. People in other communities are already getting their savings. So I'll be by to see you. because they want to make sure you get your savings as well. It just takes a few minutes. I'm Naima Latif. Call me if you have any questions. 312-849-3456.
And we are back. You are watching the Female Solution Global Broadcast, and this is the On-Air Daily News Hour. And as always, we are bringing you the daily news from the onair.dailynews.com, which brings you the news from around the world and people who are making a difference all across the world. And one of the things that we appreciate is one of our dear sisters, Zelda, from Monday Morning Mindfulness, on every Monday morning, is doing a program with the homeless, the unhoused among us who are living on the street. She feeds them every week, and we're contributing to that and making it possible. And as we noted on the screen, you can be a part of that process as well to make sure that not only do you get your savings on your electricity, you also contribute to those who don't have a roof over their head to have electricity. So we want you to be a part of that process as well. So we thank all of you who are community minded and are making sure that you touch someone's life. And this is why we want to honor those who are touching lives and making a difference, so that you can know that you are seen and your work matters. So, brother, one of the things that I have experienced is, number one, there's a great deal of ignorance about a lot of things. And one of our shows is a travel show that we do on Saturdays. And we've also been doing a regular series on travel. And one of the things that has come up is that a lot of Americans never leave the country. So they don't have any understanding of what it feels like to be somewhere else, or to even encounter people with maybe a different set of manners than what we have here. I find that Americans tend to be very rude and uncultured. There's a whole dynamic, even in terms of how you address elders and how you respect the elders, that is totally missing from American culture. What are some of the things that you noticed here when it comes to what is culturally appropriate, especially when it comes to manners between the youth and the elders? What are some of the things that you notice that is perhaps behavior that you don't want your children to imitate in American children?
Anyway, I will first say that I really appreciate the way we relate with ourselves. And they said over 200 years ago, when our ancestors, our fathers, mothers, our great ancestors, when they were forcefully transferred from their abode of Africa to the shore of America, there is something they brought with themselves, and that is their cultural heritage, in which can be seen in their entertainment life of communication. And there's no way we can rule it out that Western world has brought in that civilization of exchanging those traditional thoughts or traditional togetherness. They have exchanged it with a kind of Lone Ranger style of life. Because, In those days, in the beginning, in those days from Africa, from our ancestors, we cherish family a lot. That's number one thing that really touched me, that nowadays that instinct of family reunion is really dying gradually. And that's the reason why we're having this kind of a program whereby people can still converge, come together with sanity, with genuine mind. You can even be surprised that because you said something that majority of the Americans now, they don't really travel. They don't even have experience of what other part of the world have to offer. And it's part of what we're doing now that, okay, if a lot of people or people could not travel to Africa, our program is like bringing Africa into their doorsteps. A lot of people will they wish to travel to Africa to see what is going on. But our program, we create that an avenue for our people here to have that fears of their ancestral knowledge, understanding, creativity, aesthetics, beauty, the joy of it. So I believe we can still improve more. We can still improve more, especially in the areas of togetherness, coping with ourselves, understanding ourselves, and tolerating ourselves, which is what the whole world is all about. So with the drum exchange, with the music exchange, with the friend togetherness in all this kind of a program we are doing, we have been seeing a lot of good impact in it. People are given chance to ask questions. These new generations, there are a lot of things that they don't know, and we can't blame them. They don't know. So by the time they ask questions, they'll be able to see themselves. Oh, this is how they do it in Africa. This is how people talk. This is how people respect themselves. You know, through all the different sessions, we pick different topics that really touch their life, and it's really help to make sure that the family have that bond of being together. Not because we're in America, then we'll say, okay, let's forget about the ancestors, let's forget about the heritage. So even if they cannot go to Africa, this kind of our program is bringing Africa back to their doorstep, and
Yeah.
which is a very, very good one, you know, that makes that program to be very, very viable. Yeah, that's
Yes.
it.
That is critical that we keep that cultural heritage. And I think it's been fairly recent where we've seen the breakdown in respect from young people
Mhm.
of the elders. I think it's been really in this recent generation, maybe since I don't know, maybe since the 1980s or 90s, and I don't know what caused it. I don't know if it was the music lyrics that were very degrading and disrespectful toward women. I don't know if that changed the culture. I don't know if violence on TV. I don't know what it was that changed the culture, but that whole disrespecting elders, that was not part of that was definitely not part of African culture, and American born Africans, that was not part of our culture until the recent
Mhm.
last maybe 30 or 40 years. So I don't know what caused that.
Yes, what I can say about that, I would say it's more of the civilization and the shift of our mind more towards the negative effect of technology.
Yes.
Technology. Because all this technology know-how makes our children not to listen to their elders anymore. I was saying this during our last event when we were talking about Google and AI.
Mhm.
You know, even a lot of students now in school, they don't really listen to the teachers anymore. They depend more on the social media. They depend more on the Google. They depend more on these technologies. Whatever the teacher says, they will still go and double check.
Wow.
And
As if Google is a better
yes,
authority than a live person.
yes, they will still go and double check. And I engaged myself with one of the students one time, and I asked the student, "Can you tell me the meaning of wisdom? What is wisdom?" He said, "Wisdom. I mean, wisdom is wisdom." The student cannot really understand what wisdom is.
Wow.
And I said, "Do you understand what we mean by native intelligence? How could you get a native intelligence? You get it from your parents. There's no way, even if you go to the Google and say, Google, what is native intelligence? What Google will tell you will be different to what your parents are going to tell you."
That's true.
You know, in those days, our parents communicate with us in different ways, through the gestures, through the wink of their eye. They might say no or yes through ordinary wink of the eyes. You will know the body language.
Yes,
You
you read
know
it
that
about
this is what mama is saying. But now, if the mama tried to do that, you'll be asking mama, "Are you all right? Is something wrong with your eyeballs?"
Got some in your eyes.
You know, things like that.
Oh,
And
that's amazing.
yeah, those are the things we discuss in our program sessions.
Yes.
And is having a very positive impact. Is having a very positive impact. That no matter what, no matter degrees, how many degrees you have, you will still be responsible to your immediate family culture.
Yes.
You will still be responsible to it.
No matter
So
how.
that is exactly what we're talking about. You know, Yoruba cultural exchange. When we are talking about that cultural exchange, what we are talking about cultural exchange is that we want our young ones to understand where we are coming from, where we are today, and how will the future looks like.
Now that's a thing that's been a topic of great conversation. What the future looks like, because there's the good image, and then there's the fearful image where people are afraid everything is going to be destroyed. But we have the power to choose that image based on what we see.
Yes, exactly.
So we're going to take one last break, and when we come back, I want to take a look at what does the future look like. What would you like to see, and what do we want to instill in these young people so that they use the technology in a positive way as opposed to a way that is destructive and hurtful? How do we steer them in the right direction? So we'll take a look at that when we come back. And if you are watching, feel free to write in your comments, what do you think where you think the world is going, and where would you like to see it go, and what should we be telling the youth so they can take us there? We'll be right back after this last break, so stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be right back, so stay with us.
Welcome to Master Force with Mushim Suit. Join us each week on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central, live on Facebook and YouTube on the Female Solution page, as we dive into powerful topics designed to assist you in mastering your life force. Our conversations feature a diverse lineup of experts, all dedicated to your growth. Tune in weekly to discover new ways to elevate your spirit and raise your vibration. And remember, we are ascending.
Peace and love. I'm Michelle Renee, host of Education Nation, live on the Female Solution Global Network every second and fourth Sunday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. The intention of Education Nation is to raise awareness about the literacy crisis and to offer information to combat the problem. The goal is to awaken an army of reading coaches and mentors. You will experience guests who are doing their part in the community to ensure youth in their circles are reading and thinking critically. I look forward to serving you in this capacity. Literacy is freedom, and Education Nation will offer information and strategies to help ensure our young people stay free.
And we are back. You are watching the On Air Daily News Hour here on the Female Solution Global Broadcast. I'm Naima Latif. Our guest today is Cultural Ambassador Wale, let me pronounce it correctly, Wale Akani Duro-Ladipo. And he is the mastermind behind this fabulous upcoming event. And I had the pleasure of being a part of it. And I'm just going to share a bit of this speech that was given in acceptance of the award of the Global Woman of Substance. So just take a look, couple of minutes, and here we are.
Madam Naima Mati is the president and CEO of the online network of Associated Internet Radio Hosts on air and an expanding global network of information completing internet radio and television. She's managing editor of the On-Air Daily News Hour.
Instead of me, if I trip, you're gonna catch me, right? Oh.
A publishing company specializing in history and sociology books. She's the co-author of the best-selling book, Slavery, American Science Trauma. This 384-page textbook, written in collaboration with Yoruba, is used in elementary schools, high schools, and colleges throughout the United States. Welcome to you, Ms. Naima Mati.
No, I'm not going to sing. But I want to thank you all and thank the organizers of this event. And of course, thank all of the wonderful people who came out in support of me. My beautiful and brilliant daughter, Zakia, who is my inspiration and is truly the best of me and my late husband, Sultan Abdul Latif. And all of my media team, who is just so fantastic. Of course, my friends from HWPL, which is a global peace organization. They've sent me to South Korea several times to meet the world and do what we do every day, which is to change the world from the way it is to the way it should be using multimedia. I thank all of you there at the table, my fabulous cousin Tisa, my wonderful friend Crystal, and a fabulous media team of Marcus and Lloyd and my dear partner, John L. Alexander, always there on the spot. And we truly appreciate the opportunity to connect the global family. And special thanks to my dear friend, Dr. Quentin Tamba Taylor, Chief Tamba Taylor, D. Alexander, who nominated me for this award and who always reminds us to be the regal people that we are. We thank you all, and thank you to the organizers, and may we all continue to do this wonderful work we do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, your hands together for everyone who participated, all the awardees. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, that was a great one.
So yes, I had a chance to thank everybody.
Nice memory.
And
nice memory.
yes, it was always a very, very elegant event, wonderful food. I really appreciate the work that went into that, and the fact that people who were involved are those who have a vision of what they like the world to be. Every day we talk to a global audience and talk to people from around the world. We've had guests we've even done our shows from other countries. We've done a show from Japan and done a show from Korea. And, we've been in other countries and talked to people who everybody's expressing a desire for peace, and everybody's expressing a desire for the world to get better. But this technology is kind of scary because it's as you said, it's making our children rely less on human contact. What would you like to see our children do with the technology that's at their fingertips every day? They're able to talk to each other all around the world. They're able to send messages, send pictures, all that kind of thing. What are some of the things they can do that would get us closer toward that goal of world peace? Now that they have this technology at their fingertips, they can use it for good. What would you like to see them do?
Anyway, the basic thing that I know and I feel they should do is to communicate. They need to communicate. They need a live communication. They need to talk to their peers. They need to talk to their fellow human beings rather than depending on technology. Rather than turning a machine to be their friend. For example, it's so, I won't say terrible, but it's so funny nowadays when you see people travel in the aircraft of almost 5, 6, 7 hours flight. They will not even say hello to the person beside them. The person sitting beside them, they will not talk to each other. All they will do is to be on their phone, throughout. So, and that is what we're talking about now, that yes, the technology is good, the gadgets are fine, but we need to encourage our young ones to communicate live with each other. Is when you communicate live, you talk about, things that you will understand yourselves, that you can relate. But if you think only technology can do everything, no. Technology wants a command. There's no technology that will act on its own without a command.
Yes.
It's either you put in a code or you press a button before it can activate itself.
Right.
No matter how intelligent any machine is, it still takes order.
Still needs a human being. Absolutely.
Yes,
well, I agree. I agree that our children need to talk.
So that is what I can say.
Yes.
I can tell this our new generation that the only way out is to communicate with ourselves. When we communicate with ourselves, we'll be able to hold our family, we'll be able to have empathy, we'll be able to have human feelings. Yes. There is no way we can leave empathy out of this world and we think the world will be good. So that's it.
I agree totally. I think that's a skill that our young people are losing, how to talk to each other because they're so busy on a phone. They that personal touch, and that's something that we need to encourage. I totally agree. Well, it's time for us to go, but of course, we want to encourage you all to stay in touch. Go to onairDailyNews.com. You can read more about this upcoming event. Now, if people want tickets, how do they get in contact with you? Is there a website or phone number? How do
Yeah.
they
There's
reach
a,
you?
there's a website, www.firsteyeinc.org. www.firsteyeinc.org. There's a link to reserving and getting a ticket, and there will also be a ticket at the door.
All right. Well, we'll make sure that we remind people to go to the website www.firsteyeinc.org and get your tickets because you don't want to miss this event. Take it from me. It's a great one and you need to be there. Even if you got to fly from overseas or across the country.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being our guest tonight. We appreciate all that you do and continue to set a good example for the best in us. We appreciate you so much. Thank you all for joining us on this edition of the On Air Daily News Hour. I'm Naima Latif, and until next time, continue to shine your light.
Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Seeing you at the event.
Yeah.
See you there. Take care. Have a great evening. We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, Ngiyabonga. Senegal, Jaref. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.